Hello friends, welcome to the Anatomy Hub. So today we'll study about the palatine bone that you can observe over here. This is your palatine bone. So it is actually the name palatinum, that is the Latin word. Okay, that is uh, that means it is a thin paired bone that participates in forming the nasal cavity and the oral cavity, as well as it also helps in formation of your pterygopalatine fossa. So if you want to know detail about the pterygopalatine fossa, please press the I button to get the pterygopalatine fossa in more detail. But here we will concentrate over here only the palatine bone that actually consists of two plates, the uh, horizontal plate that is over here, and you will find the perpendicular plate. Okay, so the horizontal plate, that is the horizontal part of the palatine bone, and that forms the posterior portion of both the hard palate and the floor of the nasal cavity. Okay, you know about the hard palate and soft palate. Okay, so hard palate that is formed by the uh, palatine process of the maxilla, and the here you can see this is your hard palate. So this hard palate is formed by the palatine process of the maxilla and the palatine bone. So these two bones, they forms the hard palate that is over here. Okay, so the superior surface, that is otherwise known as your nasal surface, and the inferior surface, which is otherwise known as your palatine surface. Okay, so first we'll see the nasal surface. So this nasal surface, that is of horizontal plate of the palatine bone, that forms the part of your posterior portion of the floor of your nasal cavity and part of your inferior nasal meatus. Okay, so the palatine surface of the horizontal plate, that is that you can see through this view. So the palatine surface of the horizontal plate, that forms the part of your bony palate and features, that you will find some features. So these features are mainly the greater palatine foramen and the lesser palatine foramen. Okay, so the greater palatine foramen that you can observe here, it is a small opening in the horizontal plate of the palatine bone, and it serves as a passage for the greater palatine nerve that is coming out from the greater palatine canal into the oral cavity. Okay, so the greater palatine canal, that is the passage uh, going through the sphenoid and the palatine bone, connecting the pterygopalatine fossa to the oral cavity. Okay, so the greater palatine canal, this canal actually transmits the descending palatine vessels. Okay, so the greater palatine nerve and the lesser palatine nerve, that you will find over here. So the lesser palatine canal, that is coming connected to the lesser palatine foramen, and through which you will find the lesser palatine nerve and vessels. Okay, so this lesser palatine foramen, that refers to one or more small foramini that representing the opening in the hard palate in the horizontal plate of the palatine bone, and it connects to the lesser palatine canal that carries the lesser palatine nerve. So the lesser palatine canal, that refers to one or more small canals that running vertically through the perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, that ascends upward and reaches at the pterygopalatine fossa. Okay, so now you come towards the uh, perpendicular plate of the palatine bone. So the perpendicular plate, that is the vertical part of the palatine bone, okay, which forms the part of your medial wall of your maxillary sinus also. So this perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, that has two surface. One is your nasal surface, that you can observe over here. This is your nasal surface. So this nasal surface of the perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, that forms the supero-posterior part of the nasal septum, and it articulates superiorly with the cribriform plate of your ethmoid bone. Okay. Then the maxillary surface of the perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, that is rough and irregular, and it articulates with the nasal surface of the maxilla. Okay. So the spinopalatine notch, that will find over here at the top of this bone. So at this point, okay, you will find the spinopalatine notch, that actually located on the perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, and together with the body of the sphenoid, they forms a foramen over here. So this foramen is your spinopalatine foramen, okay, which actually connects to the nasal cavity. Okay, here you can see this is your nasal cavity, and if you go through this nasal cavity, you can reach at the lateral side of your nasal cavity, and where you will get a foramen. So you can observe through here, this is the foramen. Okay, so if you go through this nasal cavity, you will reach here at the lateral part of your nasal cavity, there is a foramen. So this foramen is your spinopalatine foramen. By the spinopalatine notch of your perpendicular plate of your palatine bone, okay, and the body of the sphenoid bone, that makes a foramen over here. So this foramen is that connects the nasal cavity with the pterygopalatine fossa. So here you will find the pterygopalatine fossa. Then here you will find the, so these are the two palatine bone that just we have removed, and we have articulated with each other over here. That here you can see there are the parts of the palatine bone. So here you will find there is the conchal crest. So here you will find the conchal crest or the of the palatine bone, and here you will find the nasal surface of your inferior nasal meatus. Okay, nasal surface of the superior nasal meatus, and here you will find the lateral surface of your palatine bone, and here you will find the pterygopalatine canal within this palatine bone, and that opens to this greater palatine foramen. Okay, and here you will find the nasal crest also. So this nasal crest that articulates with the vomer, okay, and that forms your it divides the nasal cavity into two halves, and here you will find the posterior nasal spine. Okay, so this is a posterior nasal spine, and this is the transverse plate, where this is the posterior view, and here at this point you will find a process. So this process is known as your pyramidal process. Okay, so this pyramidal process that extends postero inferiorly at the junction between the uh, horizontal plate and the perpendicular plate. And mainly this pyramidal process that comprises the lesser palatine canal, and where you will find the corresponding nerves and vessels pass through this. That means you will find the lesser palatine nerve, okay, and the vessels. Now we'll see the borders. Palatine bone, that is actually surrounded by the maxilla anteriorly. This is the anterior view of this bone. It is paired bone. So here you'll find the anterior border, which is articulated by the maxilla over here, and posteriorly it serves as the attachment to the velum and the palatine aponeurosis, okay. And the posterior border of the perpendicular plate of this palatine bone that articulates with the medial pterygoid plate of the sphenoid bone. And superiorly you will find the orbital process and the sphenoidal process that I will show you over here, okay. So this is the medial view of your left palatine, and this is your lateral view of your right palatine. So here you will find a process. So this process is your orbital process, and this is your sphenoidal process, and in between these two, here in between these two processes, here you will find a notch, okay. So this notch is known as your sphenopalatine notch. Superiorly, the orbital process that actually builds the posterior part of your orbital floor, and both the palatine bones border each other at the medial surface that you'll see over here, that forms the posterior median palatine suture, okay. So this is your posterior median palatine suture. So all these parts of the palatine bone that is actually ossified through the intramembranous ossification. So during the embryological development, it comprises 4 ossification center that is located in the pyramidal part, at the orbital part, and at the sphenoidal process, uh, and at the horizontal plate, okay. So 4 ossification points that you will find in your palatine bone. But in newborn, both the perpendicular and the horizontal plates, they are equally long distance, but in course of childhood, the horizontal plate becomes larger than the longitudinal process. So here we will just discuss some clinical aspects also. So here the greater and lesser palatine nerve that actually found in the horizontal plate of the palatine bone, mainly the through the and the pyramidal process of the palatine bone. These two areas that is quite sensitive, and for this reason they need to be anesthetized before the extraction of the upper premolar and the molar tooth. So for this procedure, the needle that will be inserted on the medial side of the second molar tooth, 1 cm from the gingival margin, and the dentist that will be careful not to use too much force and penetrate the greater palatine foramen, because that may damage to the greater palatine nerve and the vessels. Okay. So if you will have the attachments of this palatine bone, then what we will find over here, that you can see here, that this is the posterior nasal spine. So this posterior nasal spine, that is a pointed posterior projection, okay, at the end of your nasal crest, and it gives attachment to the musculus uvuli. Okay. Then here, that you will find over here, so this is the nasal crest. So the nasal crest of the palatine bone, that is actually a ridge of bone along the superior surface of the palatine process, that is above the median palatine suture, where the two palatine bones they meet with each other, and the upper border of this ridge that articulates with the humor, and the posterior of the nasal crest that forms a pointed tip end, which is actually termed the posterior nasal spine, and to which it gives origin to the musculus uvuli. Okay. Then here you will find the nasal surface of your inferior nasal meatus, that is formed by the perpendicular plate of this palatine bone, and so this nasal surface of the palatine bone is part of your medial surface of the bone, which forms the part of the border of your nasal cavity, and the inferior nasal meatus, that is the nasal cavity between the inferior nasal concha and the floor of your nasal cavity. Like that, here you will find the conchal crest, that is also formed by the palatine bone. So here this conchal crest of this palatine bone, that is actually the ridge in the nasal surface of your palatine bone, which marks the point at which the palatine bone that articulates with the inferior nasal concha. So like that, here you will find the pterygopalatine canal. So this pterygopalatine canal, that is actually the groove on the posterior surface of the perpendicular plate of your palatine bone, and this groove, it is converted into a canal through the articulation with the maxilla. Okay. So the posterior surface of the maxilla, when it will articulate with this is the posterior view. So with this palatine bone, then here it leaves a canal. So this canal will lead towards the greater palatine foramen. Okay. So this groove, that will convert it into a canal through the articulation with the maxilla, and allows the passage of the descending palatine vessels and nerves. Like that, here you will find the lateral surface of the palatine bone, and here it is related mainly to the infratemporal fossa. Okay. So the lateral surface of this palatine bone, that is located on the posterior part of the perpendicular plate of this palatine bone, and it is directed posterolaterally, and it forms the part of your infratemporal fossa. Then after this, here you will find the nasal surface of your superior nasal meatus. Okay. So the nasal surface of this palatine bone, that is actually the part of the medial surface of the bone which forms the part of the border of your nasal cavity, and the superior nasal meatus, that is the nasal cavity between the superior nasal concha and the middle nasal concha. Now we'll see the articulations over here. So as you know that this is your maxilla. So the maxilla that articulates with the palatine bone. Okay. So here you can see that here you'll find this bone, palatine bone, the transverse plate of palatine bone and the perpendicular plate of the palatine bone. So this perpendicular plate of the palatine bone, that it articulates over the ethmoid bone at the superior side. And so here you can see the relation of some nerves and vessels inside this uh, uh, pterygopalatine fossa, that actually related to the bone, that is the palatine bone. So details we have discussed in the pterygopalatine fossa, but here we will see how the greater palatine nerve and vessels that passes through this canal and comes out towards the oral cavity. So here you can observe that this is the palatine bone, the horizontal plate of the palatine bone, and here the greater palatine foramen and lesser palatine foramen, and through which you can see how the greater palatine nerve along with that vessels, that it is not visible over here, they are just coming out of this foramen towards the oral cavity. Okay, now you can see here this is the roof of your oral cavity. This makes the palatine process of maxilla and the transverse plate of the palatine bone. They makes a suture over here, right? This suture is your palato-maxillary suture. Okay, and this suture is your interpalatine suture. Okay, now here you'll find this suture, that is the intermaxillary suture. Fine. Okay, so here we have seen the relation of the greater palatine nerve and vessels, how they are coming out to from the uh, 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 palatine canal towards the oral cavity. Okay, so here we have completed the palatine bone, its nerve supply, its relation, its parts, and how it articulates with the maxilla, with the sphenoid, okay, and with the ethmoid bone, that we have discussed along with some clinical points. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for the new videos. Thank you.